Alright everybody, fly tying evolution back with another pattern for you. I got a size 14 wide gap jig hook in the vise paired with a 3.2 millimeter slotted tungsten gold bead. Thread I'm going to be using is a 70 denier yellow. For the tail, I'm going to be using some CDL. For the body, I'll be using yellow pheasant tail fibers. For the rib, I'll be using a small gold wire. For the thorax, I'll use a little bit of creamy yellow Australian possum dubbing, awesome possum dubbing. Alright, let's get this one going. Start our thread right behind the bead. And trim out our excess. I'm going to work my thread all the way to the bend of the hook. And we'll tie in, I don't know, half a dozen, 5 to half a dozen of CDL fibers. You can bring them out 90 degrees from the stem to line up the tips. Just rip them off. I'll measure them and be about a shank length long. Tie them in right on top of the shank. The flat thread, you can flatten out uni-thread by spinning it counterclockwise. With the flat thread, bring it all the way back up to the bead, where you can trim out the butts of them pheasant tail fibers. Take a length of your gold wire, and I like to stick it right in the slot of the bead to hold it in place. And wrap back on it, keeping it on top all the way back to just before the tail. I'll put that in my material clip. And I'll take a half a dozen of these pheasant tail fibers. I'll tie them in by the tip. Bring those forward. Wrapping those forward to the bead. Now we're going to wrap the pheasant tail in. I tie this pattern in yellow because of the sulphur hatch in central Pennsylvania. Basically a yellow Frenchie. And I'll trim out the butts. And I'll wrap my gold wire in. Just gives it a little segmentation and a little durability. Tie that off. Shorten up my thread here. I'll helicopter that out. And I'll come in with my creamy yellow dubbing, just for a little thorax. Not a whole lot here, just a little bit. And I like to put a little band of this yellow thread in for a collar. Then I'll whip finish, usually 5 turns, 4 or 5 turns. Seat that knot. Trim out your thread. If you like the videos I'm putting out, I'd hope you'd subscribe. It would help me out. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.